Welcome to Sew Very Easy. My name is Laura, and a Mariner's Compass block is a very popular block to make, and there's many different ways that we can make the block. We can make it in an English paper piecing way. We could do it in regular paper piecing. We could do it in templates. We can do it in patterns, and we can do them in pre-cut plastic template rulers. And each of them are put together slightly different. So today I want to share with you a template set that puts that Mariner's Compass together quite easily. All of the dog ears are pre-cut off for us, and the shapes are exact, so they go together just like puzzle pieces. And there's no set-in Y-seams. The template set that I'm going to be using is a set from Marty Michelle. And if you're familiar with her templates and rulers, you'll know how exact they are. The set that I am using is going to make a 20-inch Mariner's Compass. And all the directions are in here, and they're very well described. The rulers do come with a little piece of paper on the back. And that just protects them during shipping and cutting. So the first thing we need to do is just peel off that paper. And that way we're going to be able to see through the template shape. The templates are designed so we're going to be able to use a rotary cutter all the way around. The set comes with 6 templates, and that's designed so that we can do a 16 point and a 32 point. So we will only need pieces A, B, C, and D. I'm going to take these 4 template pieces and make a 16 point Mariner's Compass. The first piece I'm going to cut is A, which is this big point. Piece A is cut out of a border print, and I do want to make sure that this stays straight, so I'm going to cut the fabric from behind. Draw a line right down the center so both parts are equal. And one thing that I would highly recommend is all of your fabric is very well pressed, and a little starch will help. I can now take this A piece, line that center line on the template on the line that I drew, and cut all the way around. And make sure you even cut off all of these little points. We now have a piece cut out. Now I would recommend to cut out one extra. We're going to be able to use it as a test, and it'll also give us a spare. An A piece is going to go right here. B piece is this little point to the inside of this circle. With the template number B, each side is slightly different. So we must cut all of the fabric with the fabric facing up and the words facing up. The big rotary cutter is not going to fit in this little curve. So there are a few ways we can do this. We can draw out the shape and cut it with the scissors. Or if you happen to have a very small rotary cutter, this works great for this little size. So with this little rotary cutter, I could cut my first piece, move that fabric out of the way so we know that it's been cut. Cut the ends that we can. Rotate the mat. If you have a mat that you can rotate, hold it back down and finish cutting the edges. And I can continue to rotate that mat so that my cut edge is most comfortable. And now that little blade will cut perfectly around that little curve. And I will need a total of 8 of these little ends. Template C is this medium-sized point. So for the C block, I can cut one piece and then rotate that ruler and cut the second piece. By rotating this along that long strip, it's going to utilize the fabric better. And I will need a total of 8 C pieces. Template D is going to give us the background fabric. And we need 16 of these. And I'm going to cut them the same way, rotating as I go along the strip of fabric. We have the long point, the medium point, the sharp point, and the backgrounds. First thing we need to do is sew the largest point onto the smallest point. So that smallest point needs to be stitched on. And you will be able to see that it only will fit one way. If you see edges pointing out, it is not going in the right direction. This will only fit one way. And when you lay those right sides together, you will see that that piece matches perfectly along only one side. With that first piece stitched on, I would recommend pressing that seam open and just press it with your fingers. Once that large point and small point have been stitched together, we need to stitch the medium point on each side of the background fabric. We will have 8 of these arms and 8 for each side. And when we match up these pieces, they also match up perfectly. There's no point or fabric sticking out. We can stitch a 1/4 inch along that one side. When those two pieces are stitched together, take the seams and finger press them towards that background fabric. We can now add on the second background square. And those seams will match up. That seam will also be pressed towards the background fabric. The medium point needs to be stitched onto the long point. And because the rulers have made this so perfect, we can tell that there's only one side it can be stitched on. Put those right sides together and you will see no dog ears or fabric hanging out. And stitch a true 1/4 inch. Finger press it towards that medium point. And the first wedge is now done. As long as all of these templates were cut and all of those little ends cut off, the pieces are going to fit together perfectly. And when we have that first test piece done, we're going to be able to test it onto the pattern. We do have a test page, so we're going to be able to take that first unit and match them up. And those 3 edges should be perfect on that paper. There is a little spot on the bottom, and it's going to be a little bit off that point, and that's fine. The printing just didn't print out far enough, but that's fine because that's going to be covered after. The main focus will be these 3 edges. And once I know it's right, I'm going to be able to finish the 8 units. We're going to be able to sew the 8 units and put them together into units of 4. As we are sewing these units together, the only seam that needs to be matched up is right in the corner between those 2 large points, right there. And press that seam out. So we're always going to have that largest piece with the seams pointing out. Take those 4 units and sew 2 and 2 together. So we're going to have that little point match, keeping that curve. We now have 2 units left over. We can sew those together. Do one seam first and then pull that seam over to do the second one. The 16 points are now done. We need to add a center and an outside. And we do have a template for that circle. I would recommend photocopying that. Check it and make sure that the circle is correct with the photocopy. And then we can cut that circle out. And we're going to be able to start with an 8-inch square. Cut the circle out along that dotted lines because we're going to use this as a template. Place it in the center of this block. If it's a little bit too big, we're going to be able to trim off a little bit. We want the circle to hit all of these little corners as we go around. So it's okay if we trim this down if it needs to be trimmed. Now for this particular one, I do want to fussy cut that center. I'm going to fold that circle in half and then in half again and put a pin right through that center mark. The end of this pin, I'm going to be able to put it through until I find the center of that pattern. And just pull that pin tight so the center of the paper and the center of the fabric are poking up. So I have that paper template underneath, but it's still that square shape. I want to make sure that that paper template does not shift and that stays right in the center. So I'm going to glue the fabric onto the paper. You can use any glue stick as long as you know it's going to wash out. And I'm just going to run a little bit of glue along the paper, sticking it right onto that center. Now I can take off that pin and I know that fabric and the paper are in the right position. And I can cut a 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around. I want to take the edge of this fabric and fold it onto the paper. Using the washable glue stick, I can just take this and have it run right along the edge of the paper. My little piece is centered and it fits perfect around those points. This circle needs to be appliqued onto the block. We can hand stitch it or machine stitch it. I machine stitched this on by turning my machine down to a very low speed so I could go as close as I could all the way along this edge. Once that's stitched on, just release the glue off of the paper and remove that paper. Even if you've stitched on that paper a little bit, very gently, that paper will come off. Now when I turn it over, I have a beautiful center in my mariner's compass. Once the center is done, we can add on an outside fabric. A good size to start off with would be about a 24-inch. So I have a very large piece of freezer paper. I need to mark some vertical and horizontal lines. I just want to draw marks on my 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock marks. And we want to trace this circle. Once that circle has been shaped, we're going to make some registration marks with a pin. We want to put the pin right in the point and let that pin go right through that paper so we have a mark. And do that to all of the points without shifting this. You can even pin it on if you'd like first. Once all my little pin marks are done, I want to mark my 12 o'clock point with the pin. And on the paper, do the 12 so we know that those two edges are going to go together and the other two will follow behind. Now we can lift up this top piece and we're going to be able to see those little pin marks. So we're going to be able to draw a circle following the pin marks. This inside line that we've joined up from dot to dot is the size of the fabric we need. For the paper, we could cut along that inside line. I start and cut off a big piece, and then I'm able to cut as close as I can to that line. I now have a big, beautiful hole in the middle of my freezer paper. And before I cut out any fabric, I am going to test one more time. Put my 12 o'clock where my pin is, lay the template on top. Now that we know that this circle is the exact size we want, we're going to be able to iron it onto our back fabric. We will need to transfer the 12, 3, 6, and 9 marks, leaving our pin at the 12-inch. And I make sure that I transfer my 12 o'clock mark. Now I'm going to be able to take that big piece of background fabric and iron it right on top of the freezer paper. Because we did the template with that wax side up, that wax is going to stick onto the fabric. So we can iron this all down. Once that paper is stuck on, I can cut out this center, but I will need to leave a little bit of a seam allowance. We can now remove that center. Take the edge of this fabric along that seam allowance and just stretch it a little bit. It's going to fold over easier. So just take time and stretch that very edge of the seam allowance. You're not stretching anything else, just that very cut edge. Anywhere this edge is on a bias, it's going to stretch. It's going to be a little area that's on the straight of grain, and it might not want to roll over. From there, we might need to do a couple of notches. But let's start by rolling that fabric over and gluing it right along the edge of the paper. And you will find most of it is going to roll over, right up until you get to the area where that fabric won't roll over because it's on the straight of grain. So just take a pair of scissors and just do a little notch every ½ inch or so. Just don't go past that paper. Do as little as you can, test it, and then trim a little bit more as you need. Then continue gluing that fabric down. Just finger press that glue and paper together until you have a nice, smooth circle. Put a pin where your 12 o'clock mark is, your 3, 6, and 9. Place the mariner's compass down, matching my 12 o'clock marks. Lift up the fabric. Your 12, 3, 6, and 9 should match. We can now pin those layers down. I can now put matching thread and stitch right along that edge as close as I can, so I'm only catching a thread or two. If you'd like, you can hand applique this on. When this is all stitched down, we're going to be able to remove the back paper. This is the completed 16-point Mariner's Compass. There are so many different design opportunities that you can do with the Mariner's Compass. The pattern doesn't take a lot of fabric. The most fabric you're going to use is this larger background fabric and the background between these points. The Mariner's Compass block is definitely a very striking and beautiful block. It can be done in so many different fabrics and so many different ways. It looks a lot more complicated than it is, especially when we're not using any Y seams. I'll put a link in the description to the templates, and as always, thank you for joining me today on Sew Very Easy. Feel free to subscribe, and as always, come on back. Let's see what we're sewing next time in the sewing room. Bye for now.